Welcome back to Fishing 24 Hours, your go-to Channel 4 epic fishing adventures. Pro tips and stories that'll make your heart race. Today, we're diving into a killer technique, bottom-dragging bait to lure grass carp and common carp like they're under a spell. Think dropping bait and waiting is enough? Nope. Dragging bait along the bottom with slick moves makes grass carp and common carp go wild, turning America's rivers and lakes into your trophy zone. This video will spill all the secrets on making bait, dragging it right, picking spots, timing casts, and reeling in monsters without breaking a sweat. Grab an ice-cold soda, kick back, and let us hit the water for this bottom-dragging fishing quest across Nebraska's rivers and Texas lakes. It all started one foggy dawn on the Missouri River in Nebraska. The water flowed soft, cattails lined the banks, no shade in sight. Grass carp were lurking somewhere, but my crew and I were striking out with static cornmeal bait. Our floats dead still, just the chilly breeze biting us. Ready to pack it in for some diner pancakes? A local young angler, Jake, strolled up, grinning like he owned the river. Y'all, static bait's a snooze for grass carp. Drag some cornmeal mixed with worms along the bottom near the reeds, and they'll swarm like it's a fish party. I was skeptical but curious, so I gave it a shot. Mixed cornmeal with chopped worms, dropped it near the bottom. Dragged it slow by the reeds. In under 5 minutes, my float dove, and I reeled in a 10-pound grass carp, thrashing like a rock star in the Missouri's murky flow. The crew went nuts, hollering like we'd won the lottery. That day I hooked more big fish, bucket overflowing, grinning ear to ear. That's when it hit me. Bottom-dragging bait is a game-changer for big catches. Now let's break down the bottom-dragging bait technique so you can dominate any fishing spot. Why does bottom dragging work? The secret's in mimicking the natural food of grass, carp, and common carp. Moving slow along the bottom to trigger their hunting instincts. These fish forage at the bottom near grass or roots, where natural bait like worms or insects drifts by. Dragging bait creates lifelike motion, making fish think it's the real deal, so they pounce. On the Missouri, dragging cornmeal worm bait along the bottom hooked grass carp in 4 minutes, while static bait left floats lifeless. This technique shines in shallow, murky waters with no shade, like the Missouri River or Lake Fork, where fish rely on movement and scent. Drag too fast or too high off the bottom, though, and fish get spooked, swimming away. I've tested this on countless trips, and bottom dragging is a straight-up fish magnet. How to make and drag bait starts with the mix. Use 7 ounces of fishy cornmeal bait mixed with 3.5 ounces of chopped earthworms or minced shrimp. 1 tablespoon honey, 3.5 ounces wheat flour. Blend cornmeal, worms, honey, flour, adding lake water slowly until sticky, not crumbly, and roll into 0.2-inch balls. Use size 6 to 8 hooks, 2 to 3 gram weights, 0.202 to 0.30 millimeters leader. Drop bait to the bottom, 6 to 8 inches deep for grass carp and common carp. Set the float 2 to 4 inches from the hook, balance 8. Fish 4. Drag by gently pulling the rod every 3 to 5 seconds. About 4 to 6 inches, then slack off to let the bait drift naturally. Grass carp and common carp nibble lightly, so wait for a steady float sink before setting the hook gently. Use a 0.30 to 0.40 millimeters main line for big fish. Alternative baits like mashed sweet potato or ripe banana work too if mixed with cornmeal and honey. Key tip, keep bait close to the bottom. No more than 1 inch off, drag slow and steady, avoid jerky pulls. If the bait drifts too far from the fish zone, recast near grass. On the Missouri, dragging cornmeal worm bait near the bottom hooked grass carp in 4 minutes. Watch for bubbles, fish, shadows, or ripples to locate feeding zones. If the float twitches lightly, wait for a full sink to set the hook firm. Don't drag too fast or fish will suspect fake bait. Prime spots are crucial. Bottom dragging shines in rivers and lakes with grassy banks, submerged roots, or shallow water. Like the Missouri River or Lake Fork, grass carp and common carp forage near grass or roots where currents slow. Cast near grassy edges, root tangles, or calm pockets, 6 to 8 inches deep. Use a 2 to 3 gram weight to keep bait low. On the Missouri, grassy banks post-rain are hot spots. No bubbles or fish shadows. Move to a quieter corner with cover. This technique targets grass carp and common carp. Grass carp love fishy cornmeal or worms dragged slowly every 3 seconds. Common carp go for bait, moved gently near grass. Twitch the rod every 3 to 5 seconds to spread scent. Use size 6 to 8 hooks, 0.20 millimeters leader. If the float jerks hard, set the hook quick but gentle. Bottom dragging is killer for big bottom feeding fish. Timing matters. Grass carp and common carp feed hardest early morning, 4:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. or late afternoon, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. near grass or roots when light's soft. Cloudy days, post-train, or light breezes, 5 to 10 miles per hour, are ideal as fish relax and bite hard. On the Missouri, early mornings post-train were primed for grass carp. If your float's still, wait for peak hours or move to a spot with ripples. Chumming boosts your game. Before dragging, spread chum near grass or roots. Mix cornmeal with chopped worms or honey. 2 parts cornmeal, 1 part worms, 0.5 parts honey. Scatter 7 to 10 ounces. Wait 10 to 15 minutes for fish to gather. Look for bubbles, ripples, or fish shadows, then cast and drag bait. Chum creates a feeding frenzy, upping big fish odds. If bites are slow after 15 minutes, reach hum or drag slower. At Lake Fork, chumming near grass, pulled carp in fast. Real-world experience? Dragging bait takes practice but pays off. Watch water for bubbles, fish shadows, or ripples to find feeding zones. Cast to hot spots near grass or roots. Swap bait every 10 to 15 minutes. Cornmeal mix dissolves. Keep it fresh to hold scent. If fish are slow, drag slower or move spots. Twitch the rod every 3 to 5 seconds for lifelike motion. Check the float. Light twitches mean nibbling. Wait for a full sink to set the hook. Grass carp hit hard. Set quick but gentle. Now for the second real-world story. Lake Fork, Texas. One humid morning at Lake Fork, water cool, fog thick, grass carp cruise near the banks. My buddies use static cornmeal bait. No bites. Hank, a veteran angler with a grizzled beard, ambled over, voice deep and calm. Boys, static bait's no good for grass carp. Drag cornmeal worm mix along the bottom near those roots. They'll hit like lightning. I mixed cornmeal with worms, dropped it near the bottom, dragged slow with a size 6 hook. In 6 minutes, ripples spread. I reeled in an 8-pound grass carp, thrashing like it owned the lake. The crew cheered. Dragging's the way to go. I hooked more big fish, feeling like the king of Texas waters. Beginner tips. New anglers, bottom dragging is an easy skill to pick up. Try it in a lake. Drop bait to the bottom for common carp or grass carp. Use size 6 to 8 hooks near grass. To note which spots and times work, like grass carp post-train. Move spots or chum more. Fish early mornings or late afternoons. Stay quiet, chum regularly. Carry spare hooks, check lines often. Safety first. Wash worms or shrimp clean to avoid spoiled bait causing sickness. Store bait in a sealed, cool container, away from sun. Avoid slippery banks on the Missouri after rain. At Lake Fork, wear a life jacket near outflows. Keep noise low. Avoid casting shadows on the water. Grass carp and common carp spook fast. Set a light behind you for night fishing to avoid tripping. Check hooks before casting to prevent cuts. Prep is key. Check sunrise and sunset times via apps. AIM for 4:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. or 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Pack cornmeal, worms, shrimp, honey, backup pellet bait. Keep bait in a cool container. Bring a 14-foot rod 2,500 reel, 0.302, 0.40 millimeters line, size 6 to 8 hooks, 2 to 3 gram weights, sensitive floats. Pack a chair, sunshade, non-slip shoes. Watch for bubbles or fish shadows. You'll bites in 15 minutes. Move or reach them. Advanced tips. Drag slower and stronger currents, 5 to 7 seconds per pull. Use fluorocarbon leaders in murky water to hide the hook. Switch to a 2.5 gram weight for picky fish. Try multiple grassy spots. Note where ripples show. Bottom dragging bait is the trick to turn rivers and lakes into your playground. It's 3 keys. Stay low, keep moving, use scented bait. Every drag with fish swarming near reeds feels like a true adventure. When your float sinks, heart pounding, rod grip tight, that's the angler's moment. Rookie or pro, these tips make you the boss of any water. That's a wrap, squad. We've cracked the bottom dragging code, from mixing bait to landing monsters. Hope you're pumped to try it. Smash like, share with your fishing crew, subscribe to Fishing 24 Hours for more epic guides. Got a killer dragging story? Drop it in the comments, I'm dying to hear. Tight lines, monster catches, see you on the next adventure.